Hey, YO, my unsilent majority. Welcome back to Leveled Writing. I am Nas the Boss. Today is level 3B. We're working on enhancing your world. Specifically, not the why, it's kind of complicated. So let me get into this. It's just saying to enhance your world means to enrich it. So this means we are enhancing it with people. With people, NPCs, and the like. The point here is that, well, if you're gonna give a place a personality, like this entire town has a personality, then the people need to kind of reflect that and enhance that. So your NPCs will need to reflect and have that energy. I did this before, but I'm just reiterating it. Like, if the town has a mascot or a thing they do, so again, let's go back to Kamen Rider W. With the city of Futo. I think it's Fuuto, something like that. The point of this city is that a lot of its branding is wind power. So you have, like, let's say a wind powered city. Wind powered city. Obviously, we're gonna see windmills. Windmills. We're gonna see a windmill. What do they call it again? Those I think it's Seiyu. No, I think that's like a singer. No, not a singer. What's that called? Um, Not a Gajinka. What's it called? When, like, let's look it up. It is Seiyu group, I guess. That that says a lot. So Windmill Seiyu. Basically, we're gonna be having a lot uh of the mascot being around. Maybe we're gonna see, like, those little, like, wind, like, things. They're not made for energy. They're made for, like, being like a prop, little, like, like windmill, like, garden, um garden stands or whatever. I don't know what it's called, but it's those little things that you put them in, like, the ground and it just blows with the wind. My grandma has a shit ton of these things lying about in her garden. um what else? We're gonna have all that. But now, how do I want to expand this further? So you know how I'm talking about the city um of Futo and how I remember it. I remember all these aspects of it, the waterfront of the bay where, like, a lot of conferences were held, etc. How I can describe it and do all these and just recite effectively what the story is from a base point from the story, from the cityscape. Let's jump into another thing, shall we? Let's jump into other anime. Let's jump into a really famous one. We all know Naruto. Tell me about Konoha. Tell me everything about it. Right now. You can? And you remember how memorable how memorable it is. And depending on where you started, if you started from the early points in Naruto, from where we learned about it in the not the opening sequence, in, like, the early parts of Naruto's age when he's like 10, running around the place and marking up and graffitiing the Kage there. Um Shows a lot about his character, but keep in mind he is a child. The problem here, the thing I want to notice, well, what makes it memorable? Why do we care? Why the F do I care about this damn place? Now you're saying, well, that's a no-no. You are discrediting someone's work. I'm not. I'm asking you a question. Why on earth do you care about this damned location? Why do you remember it? Or do you remember a place because of a character? Who in this place do you remember fondly? So if you were to take this in context, when we think Konoha, first thing that comes into my mind is the opening segment of the first episode where Kurama is wreaking havoc to the place. So we have Kurama, the nine-tailed fox, destroying the village. That is my first memory of Naruto, destroying the village. And then we cut to Naruto. Naruto at, I think, age 10. Graffitiing. How do you spell graffiti? Graffiti's the Kage Empty Rushmore, what do you call it? Like, yeah, he graffitis it. And then we go from there and extrapolate. Like, do you even... I get it if you have the manga. We're not talking about the manga, we're talking about the anime. Can you draw a full depiction of, what do you call it? Of the village and in the leaves? Can you? Some people can. And if you have the original manga, you can flip to chapter 2 and be like, ah, yeah, here's the entire place. Draw that for me. Recreate it. Tell me where Naruto's house is. Tell me where that Kage summit is. Tell me where the, tell me where the damn ninja school is. On that map. Kinda. Give me like a rough estimate of where it is. These are the things, like, so it's like, okay, locations in the place you're in, maybe an event that took place. We have a character to remember. We have, like, reciting it map to mouth, roughly. Well, we only view the wind scale building like once in the first episode of Kamen Rider, but I can still tell you it's near like that one bridge, almost close to the shoreline somewhere. I vaguely remember that. We know the Narme Agency is near the entrance to the place, as we see, what's her name? I'm gonna remember her name. Narumi? That's not her first name. That's her last name. Akiko? I think it's Akiko. Let's go with that. When Akiko shows up. She walks down about a block, maybe 2 or 3 blocks, something like that. Finds the place, goes, "Yep, there it is." Um, and Shotaro's there. So we can say that's the entrance, and then from distance we see the Windscale building, we see the bridge, and then we see a bunch of kiosks somewhere. I think. I think they're buildings. I just thought of them as kiosks. Actually, when I say that. Also, we see windmills there. Those little pedal things, those flower pedal things that you could put your flowers in. They spin with the wind. I don't know what those are called. I think they're just windmill pedals that you just put in garden windmills. Little garden windmills. So that's the point of this, is to expand on it. You need to make things exist and happen and feel real. This entire village was getting destroyed. 10 years later, it is flourishing. And, yeah, flourishing. No. Is it flourishing? What's the word I'm looking for? It's furnished? It's been raised. It's been, like, rebuilt. We have, like, an education system and all that. That's all good stuff. Now, if we extrapolate that to other places in Naruto, do you remember the village? The village in the sand? Of course you do. That's where Gara is. Gara's there. Kankuro is there. Hamari is there. What else do we have that's there? We have, like, I think they're the third Tsuchikage exists? Question mark. We had, what's his name? The one-tailed beast. I think he has a similar name to another character somewhere. I'm trying to remember that potential name. Let me type the one-tailed beast for now. One-tailed beast. Gara's asshole dad. Gara's asshole dad? I don't know. What else do we got? We have not that much. So let's take another one. This one's gonna bite people. I know it is. Tell me. Let me ask you the hard question. Do you remember? Do you remember the Land of Waves? Do you? Well, what was significant about it? Oh, that's where Zabuza and Haku fought Naruto. Fought Naruto, Sasuke, and Kakashi. What else happened? That's where they brought, I forget his name, the carpenter, they brought the carpenter here. What else? In Shippuden, They fought Zabuza and Haku as zombies. Quite the memorable place. What happened there? What else happened? Oh, you would also. How could I forget? Kakashi uses Sharingan. Kakashi's Sharingan was rendered useless. Useless by fog. That's about it. Honestly, you could probably say after that. You could also say this was during the period. The period Team 7 was learning um, chakra control. And let's not forget the nine-tailed aura activated for the first time. It was epic. Like this place is memorable, but it's not all that memorable to the people there. What did they do? They just built the city. And then what happened when it bleh. Then what happened after that? Nothing. We hear nothing from the land of waves for about 10 years, something like that. 10 something years, and then we come back to it, and it was almost the same shite. Kind of, kind of odd when you can imagine that this place is not only memorable to fans because Zabuza and Haku fought here twice, and that the Nine-Tailed Fox activated here. Like, that's just about it. It's Now let's extrapolate this again. Let's go to Bleach instead. A lot of my friends keep going on about like the Soul Society arc and all that stuff. You remember like all the arcs? So they remember the arcs and what happens in them. The moment you break it down place by place and part by part, you start to figure out that these places that the Soul, I think it's the Soul Society, that entire area is the main hub, effectively. So the Soul Society is effectively the main hub. That's all I'm able to glean from it. I can't sit past episode like 50. I forced myself beyond episode 30, and I can only get to 50. I don't know why. I'll try again, maybe if I ever get something and get somewhere. But I'm gonna jump back to Naruto once more. Um, um, what else do I want to bring into this? Whoa. I need a new chair. Um, They fought Zabazov and Haku, the zombies. What else did I want to add? My chair flipping on me scared the crap out of me, and I lost my train of thought. Let me start from the top. Makes it remarkable. Why on earth do we care? Why do I remember it so? Who in this place do I find fondly? So in Konoha, it's Kurama the Nine-Tailed Fox. Naruto at age 10 facing the Kage Mount Rushmore. Having the ability to recite a map from reciting it map to mouth, roughly. Locations in the place you're in. An event that took place. Looks like placer. It's not a word. Do you remember the village in the sand? You remember who lives there, but you don't remember anything particular about it. I think there was like the second one that was there, the one that came before the third one, who's like this small guy. The one's like a lanky mummy looking ass motherfucker. Father mucker. Do you remember the Land of Waves? There was another thing I wanted to remember. What was it? Ah, this is the next point I wanted to add. Thank you. So, if we go from the Land of Waves, let's say, can you tell me, would you be able to tell me, give me a summary of of each arc. Give me a brief summary of each arc. Start from the beginning. Now, if you're gonna start by saying, well, we open with Naruto. The opening of Naruto is Kurama destroying everything, and you gotta do like from the anime perspective. So we're starting at like episode 1, Naruto episode 1. So we see Kurama destroying the Leaf Village, it being removed. Naruto defacing the Kage Rushmore, um, etc. We do like the whole ninja academy exam photo thing, whatever that was. Completely unneeded, but whatever. Um, Naruto getting the scroll, the hidden scroll where he learns this. He learns to be Jesus by doing the sign of the cross. I've been holding in this joke forever. There's that. So then, if we go from location to location, Naruto leaves from the academy fully graduated, um, with his headband and wants to start doing missions. We then get Kakashi's training arc, like training episode where teamwork makes the dream work. We have that. We then jump to the first big mission, which is effectively the Land of Waves one. We get to this mission, and immediately everything's hitting the fan. We get jumped by Zabuza and effectively Haku. The kids are outsmart this Jonin level threat, and we then fast forward to Kakashi recovering, teaching the kids how to control their chakra, um, learning, etc., and taking Tetsuo or whatever across the now the then to be named Great Naruto Bridge across. Those fights happen, and then we leave. And don't come back for like 15 years. And then what happens next is the what do we call it? It's the tuning exam like section, which gets swept under the rug effectively because what would happen is Shikamaru's gonna advance is gonna be the only one to graduate from here. Sasuke's gonna get his butt kicked. Naruto beats Gaara effectively, and all this happens in the span of like a day. The third the third Hokage dies, right? The third Hokage dies, because then the third Hokage dies, and we jump to the Fine Tsunade arc, and then the Fine Tsunade arc ends, and the Sasuke retrieval arc begins, and is as a result kind of fails. So you see where I get that? There's a lot of going and coming back to Konoha, and not much. It's just slow branches here and there. We don't really get news about any up and comings from uh that city in the Land of Waves. What was it called? I'm pretty sure it was like the Land of Waves. It's like that spot across the Great Naruto Bridge. By the way, it's called the Great Naruto Bridge only after like that episode. It's kind of weird. So if you summarize each arc like that, like each section, you start to if the story feels very, very small and very short. Like literally, I just summarized like 50 episodes. Kinda whack, ain't it? So I'm not saying you need to overly detail your story where each city becomes its go point one to another. Just that if the only memorable thing about that city is the fights or something or like an event, a small event took place or was a character growth moment for a character, kind of weird that this point that's technically insignificant for like 10 years is not brought up again or mentioned. If it's in the manga, I don't give a damn. It's on the anime. If I was writing it, I'd at least put a little like nudge. If I was writing the anime, I'll add. If I was writing the anime, I'd add a little bit like Asuma. Let's say it's Asuma. Oh yeah, I got this message from the boy in the Land of Waves. He's like, "Oh yeah, just checking in. How you doing? I'm fine. Jimmy's fine. Uh, or heck, maybe he's like, I'm suspicious of these red eyes I see at night, and we can go back there and investigate." Exciting. That could have been a little thing, and then it could have been something bigger, depending on how you want to do it and play with expectations. Ooh, what's this red eyes thing that this little kid saw? Spooked the shit out of him. Or maybe they go off on a mission, come back, and now it's suddenly serious. This kid wasn't just crying wolf, he was actively trying to prevent the threat. He sought Naruto's help, specifically because he helped out before. If he helped out before, get him again once more. Just for that safety net. If not, get him and maybe another team and try and balance this out. See if we can get more eyes. If it turns out to be small, it's small. If not, you just make it slightly bigger. Kind of, you can do a lot of stuff with this. It's not just go to this place, come back. Go to another place, come back. Event at home. Big event at home. Go there. there should be at least, I would at least like maybe 1 or 2 episodes going back and forth somewhere. Not all the time, mind you. I've done this somewhere else. I don't know what was going through the creators' minds with this, but something something needs to change, adapt. Something needs to be done. I did just add a little more nuance to that town. Revisit it once more. That's the point of me throwing in little letters and the like. Sometimes I I do agree. Sometimes you don't really want to push something, even if it's small or it's something maybe a task the main character really wanted to accomplish in this short span, and it's just something you're confining to this one space over a grand period of time. Then you're like, this location is the location the main character completed his task. This was the biggest milestone for this character. And it took him years to accomplish the goal at this location. Then you have built a bigger arc for this character. Like I was saying, point I'm trying to make is so that you're having an event confined into one space, you can have one event in one space, that's fine. It's you um when you cherry pick what gets what events and you leave out one spot, that one spot gets like neglected, and when we return there, we're like, oh yeah, this is where we fought that one time. Oh, it's the same guys again. It's like, what? One thing I want to get into is fights. Fights. I want to preface this. I'm not a wrestling fan at all. There's only one good fight in wrestling that I enjoy. Undertaker versus AJ Styles. Oh my god. This fight was so good. This was I think this I forget what it was called. I think it was like a Boneyard Brawl. It is effectively The Undertaker. What do you call it? Um it's effectively The Undertaker is retirement battle. And I love this fight. The environment was so good. I need this like if we got this like I know WWE has this budget. Just let loose a little bit more like once a month. Like hype up the event and just make it spectacular. This was the Boneyard Brawl between Undertaker and Styles, and I loved it. AJ uh comes out of a coffin with the Undertaker's original theme, and the Undertaker comes in as the American Badass. He's still the Undertaker to me. Um, but he Undertaker. Watch this fight. I think it's on YouTube. But this fight was incredibly good because it's not set in the damn ring. I'm like little Crevo in right here. I like it when we're not stuck in the ring. We're at another location, and the actual location matters. Because AJ, not really a spoiler, because they're in a barnyard and there's bones and rocks everywhere. He takes a stone and chucks it at Taker, or tries to punch him in the face with the rock in his fist. I'm like, oh my god, he's using the environment. Use your damn environment. Use emphasis. Use your goddamn environments. Oh my god. I'm not gonna shut up about that fight. That fight was glorious. This fight. So Like, imagine. So, I'll also preface with this with what was that fight with Naruto and Sasuke? The final battle? I forget what that place is called. I think it's like the Valley of Dead or the Final Valley. It's the one where Hashirama and no, it's Madara and Hashirama Senju duke it out. And this is also where Naruto and Sasuke duke it out. And oh my god, the final fight here, at least in the early Naruto section, has Sasuke and Naruto beat the daylights out of each other. Yes, Naruto loses. That's not the point. It's a character growth moment for Naruto and Sasuke's effective winning strategy going forward to get tutor from someone who knows something. I don't know what. Who gives him the power he needs to overcome Naruto to advance his Sharingan to the next level or whatever the plot was. I haven't seen Naruto since Naruto ended way back. The crux here I'm trying to put here is that imagine instead the final battle here was just the ring, like a wrestling ring. It look it'd still be cool with the ninja moves going around, but now instead the final valley is a pool of water that the guys need to run across with their chakra going through their legs and having and then remember that I remember at one point Sasuke throws Naruto into the water and knees him down into the water, and Naruto comes out as a chain of Naruto, and then throws Sasuke into the freaking uh, rocky exterior of the rock formation that is the final valley, and they run up the mountain as Naruto tries to clock him and fails. That that looks so much better when Naruto chains him and throws him to a rock formation than Naruto chaining him and throwing him into the ground on the wrestling mat. So don't put yourself on a wrestling mat unless it's a traditional fighting like thing. DBZ does Dragon Ball. The original Dragon Ball does this best, kinda. Um, I forget the exact quote, but one of Akira Toriyama's manga editors or something that helped him in the early stages of Dragon Ball was, hey, this one guy, he has one really good talent. What's yours? And then he's like, well, I think yours is your perspective. And when you're drawing your fights next, because I know you're having a fight thing come up, draw these fights like that. Capitalize on that. That was the biggest selling point for those manga panels back in like the early 80s. That that is your thing. Use your environment. Don't put yourself like that. Be creative with how you use the ring dynamically. The ring is a set piece for a normal fight. When you evolve beyond a normal fight, the fights need to get more and more spectacular. Like I don't even remember the location of this one fight, but I know it was the one where All Might. It's in the first season, by the way. It's where All Might and the kids are fending for their lives, and All Might just fights. I think his name is Nomu, a guy who can absorb punches or something, and it takes All Might like 100 or so punches to knock him over the horizon. That seems memorable for that, but the location itself isn't as memorable. I don't even know if it's called anything. I know it was a field trip or some BS. So so yeah, that's that I'll get to editing this video. So until next time, okay? Ciao.